The movie begins with 8 candidates preparing for the final stage of a hiring process for a highly coveted corporate job. Some are psyching themselves up with motivational words, while others focus on fixing their appearances before heading to the examination hall. The atmosphere inside the hall is tense, dimly lit, and arranged with identical desks spread uniformly across the room. Surveillance cameras silently watch over everything. Once seated, the candidate's anxiety spikes as a guard with a gun enters the room, his presence intimidating. Moments later, a man arrives and introduces himself as the invigilator, skipping his name entirely. He begins by acknowledging the hardships they've endured to make it to this point and announces that they've cleared all previous rounds. Now, they're finalists. If they succeed in this last test, they'll land the dream job they've been vying for. The invigilator lays out the rules. Federal laws don't apply inside the examination room. Instead, the candidates must follow only the exam's rules. They are forbidden from speaking to the invigilator or the guard. But if they damage their paper, intentionally or accidentally, or leave the room for any reason, they will be disqualified. They have 80 minutes to answer a single question on the paper in front of them. With that, the invigilator wishes them luck, starts the timer, and exits the room. The candidates turn over their blank papers, sparking confusion. When number 2 starts writing why she deserves the job, she's promptly disqualified and escorted out. The remaining candidates, shaken, realize they can talk to each other, but not the invigilator or guard. They assign nicknames based on physical traits to ease communication. Testing boundaries, White stands up, confirming the guard won't react. This encourages further exploration. Dark suggests the question might be hidden in invisible ink, prompting the group to inspect their papers under light, though nothing is found. Black proposes using UV or X-ray light, leading the group to search for a light source. But they find none. Throughout, Def remains silent and detached. Blonde notices strips of emergency lights in the room, but there are no switches to activate them. White proposes an extreme solution, breaking all the regular light bulbs to trigger the emergency lighting. Brown objects, warning against taking such a drastic step, but after a heated debate, the group votes in favor of White's plan. One by one, they smash the light bulbs, plunging the room into darkness. Moments later, the emergency lights flicker on, bathing the room in a dim blue-black glow. Excited, everyone except Def begins scanning their papers again under the new light, but once again, their efforts yield nothing. Frustration mounts as Brunette suggests removing the first layer of the emergency light strips, believing it might expose UV rays that could reveal the question. Using the sharp heel of her shoe, they peel away the light's protective layer, hoping for a breakthrough. Yet again, their hopes are dashed when nothing appears. With only 60 minutes left on the clock, the tension in the room boils over. White, growing increasingly agitated, suggests looking for other options. He realizes they can experiment with candidate number 2's paper since she's already been disqualified. The group gathers around her desk and begins tracing her paper with a pencil, hoping to uncover hidden text. When that fails, White tears her paper into pieces and tests one of the fragments by urinating on it, guessing the paper might be liquid activated. It doesn't work. As desperation mounts, Black and White argue, while Def starts crying and muttering in French about the paper reflecting their image. The group dismisses him and continues brainstorming. Brown then proposes a chilling theory. This isn't a test, but a sadistic betting game for the company's board, who enjoy watching candidates crack under pressure. Dark doubts the claim, but speculation spirals and paranoia takes hold. Tensions explode as the group insults each other. Brunette hints at insider knowledge, revealing she works in HR and applied for a promotion. White, meanwhile, discloses he was headhunted. Despite their differences, they realize they know little about BROG, the globally renowned pharmaceutical company behind the test. Brunette explains B-Rog's success during a pandemic, attributing its $20 billion revenue to its enigmatic CEO. Black theorizes the company might be hiding a cure for a new deadly virus, sparking Dark's interest. When White accuses her of being infected, she denies it and deflects attention by secretly stealing a lighter from the guard's pocket. Dark glances at the fire alarm and proposes a new plan, triggering the sprinklers to see if water might reveal the question on their papers. She climbs onto a chair but struggles to reach the alarm. White steps in, handing her a rolled piece of paper, which she lights using the stolen lighter. She successfully sets off the fire alarm, and water rains down on the room. The group eagerly checks their papers, but nothing changes. Suddenly, the guard approaches. Dark, sensing betrayal, unfolds her paper to reveal it's her own. White had tricked her to reduce the competition. The guard drags her away as she curses White, calling him a bastard. Black, enraged by White's actions, threatens to knock him out, yelling, "I'll punch your lights out." Surprisingly, this causes the room's lights to turn off. The group realizes the lights are voice-activated, making them cautious about what they say. Def begins sobbing again, drawing everyone's attention. White seizes the moment to torment him further, taunting him into tearing his paper and eating it. Def complies, breaking under the pressure. The guard steps in and removes him from the room, leaving only 5 candidates. Black lashes out at White, calling him despicable. White smugly insists they should thank him for eliminating the competition. He also claims to know what the question is, but refuses to share it. Furious, Black punches him hard enough to knock him unconscious. The group then ties White to a chair and gags him with a tie to stop him from causing more trouble. After some time, White regains consciousness. Brunette removes his gag and he immediately pleads for his medication. He reveals that he is infected with the deadly virus and needs to take his medicine every hour to survive. Black searches White's pockets for the pills but finds nothing, making the group believe White is lying to manipulate them into untying him. White, however, insists one of them has taken the pill and promises to reveal the answer to the test if they return it. His condition worsens, and he loses consciousness, trembling violently. While some dismiss it as a ruse, Black recognizes it as a seizure caused by the virus. With only 15 minutes left on the timer, they frantically search for the pill. Brunette accuses Brown of taking it, and her suspicion is confirmed when she finds the pill stuck to a piece of chewing gum under his desk. As she tries to give it to White, Brown snatches the pill and throws it into an air vent. The group scrambles to retrieve it. Desperate, Brunette steps in front of the camera and begs the invigilator to save White. Her plea, however, results in her immediate disqualification for breaking the rules. After Brunette's exit, Blonde uses a bobby pin to retrieve the pill from the vent and saves White's life. She also unties him. Once White regains consciousness, the group demands he share the promised answer. White cryptically reveals that the candidates themselves are the answer. He theorizes there was never a question on the paper. The test was about who could endure until the end. The others hesitate, pondering his theory, but White seizes the opportunity to make his move. He dashes toward the guard to grab the gun, but Black intercepts him and takes it first. Pointing the gun at White, Black challenges him, but White confidently mocks him, saying he won't pull the trigger. In a sudden scuffle, White disarms Black, only to discover the gun is fingerprint locked and unusable without the guard's prints. Thinking fast, White forces the guard to unlock the gun and then turns it on the others. White orders everyone to leave the room voluntarily so he can win by default. Brown, fearing for his life, complies and exits. Blonde hesitates, but eventually moves toward the exit. Just as she's about to leave, she yells, "Lights out!" plunging the room into darkness. White panics and fires blindly in the dark. When the lights return, Black is lying on the floor with a gunshot wound to his chest. White sees Blonde with one foot still inside the room and aims at her. Before he can shoot, the timer buzzes, signaling the end of the test. White smugly declares himself the winner, approaching the camera to announce his victory. However, the guard steps in and points out that there are still 20 seconds remaining on the clock, disqualifying White for speaking to the invigilator. Shocked, White realizes Death had secretly adjusted the timer earlier, unnoticed by the others. With White disqualified, Blonde is the only candidate left. She notices Death's glasses on the floor and picks them up. Peering through them, she sees the words "Question 1" faintly written on the paper. At that moment, Death re-enters the room, revealing he is the company's CEO and had been observing the candidates throughout the test. Blonde approaches him and simply says no. The CEO and the invigilator exchange pleased smiles, acknowledging that Blonde has passed the test by answering the only real question posed at the start. Do you have any questions? The CEO offers Blonde the position of his secretary, but she initially refuses, stating she doesn't want to work for a company that orchestrates life-threatening tests. The invigilator then reveals that Black isn't dead. The bullet was actually a medical capsule that heals wounds after penetrating the body. It's part of the company's groundbreaking new medicine, capable of curing any disease in the world. Impressed but still conflicted, Blonde eventually accepts the job. The film ends with her shaking hands with the CEO, her future uncertain but undeniably changed. Please like, share, and subscribe this video.